Yo, what is going on, guys? The Shooting Star Sheriff is here, and I'm coming back. Which I know, I think by coming back, it's been a year. I think it's legitimately being a year since I have talked about this last, and that is Cardfight Vanguard Zero. And let me refresh, because I know that even the last video I talked about, it got a lot. It definitely, people still want to know when the English version is coming out, which I feel like there's been a lot of other YouTubers that have talked about it, but I know for for people who watched my video and they were still waiting, I'm so sorry, but the news had been definitely slowed down on the game. It looks like they had to delay the game a lot because it went under a lot of testing. I know that it was even playable. There were playable demos at certain events, and there's been a lot of other information that has come out. And the game is actually, the Japanese version of the game is actually out. So you can play it if you really want to. I'm going to wait for the English release for the game, however. I would be a nerd and just play the Japanese version. But I'm actually going to wait on the English version of the game because the Japanese version came out on December 5th. So let's take a look at that here. So there is this new post update that came out December 12th, just last month, and during their 2019 Expo, it was officially announced that the Vanguard Zero in Japan began on the 5th of December. So this game isn't even a month old yet, and the English version is slated for a spring 2020 release. So what does that mean? So basically, the game is already out. So if you want to play, yes, you can go to Co-op. If you don't know what Co-op is basically an app that you can download onto your phone that will allow you to have access to like Japanese Play stores and stuff like that. You can play like Japanese games. That's basically what Co-op does. So if you want to play Vanguard Zero, you can. You can totally play it if you want to play it now. But I want to wait for the English release for a few reasons, and I'm going to get into that here in this video. Now, I think the biggest reason why I want to wait for the English release is I just at this point I do want to prefer to play it in English because this game actually does have some very significant changes to how the game works. I think I read in a Co-op post, which you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and just throw up the Co-op post here right now, and it basically describes. And shout out to Aiden Ryder who made the post. And I think he described it best, and I think he really describes for anyone who's coming into this game and maybe you've never played Vanguard before. So maybe this is your first experience of Vanguard. Maybe you've been exposed to Vanguard previously. Maybe you've seen the anime on YouTube, because the anime, they upload all their episodes to YouTube. Like you can watch it on Crunchyroll and stuff, but you can watch it for free just on YouTube on their channel. So let me know how you guys have been exposed to Vanguard, or maybe this is your first time seeing Vanguard at all. Maybe me talking about this is your first experience ever, and you're just like, what is this? Why is he uploading this? Why isn't it Azure Lane? Unsubscribe. Anyway. But he describes it best when he says it's not gonna play exactly like Vanguard. So if you're like me, you've been playing this game since 2011. So if I think about that, 2021 will make 10 years since I've been playing this game, or I've been exposed to the game. Wow, that's a long time. But it doesn't play exactly like Vanguard. It is a Vanguard-like game. So there will be a lot of. So when I say it's Vanguard-like, it will have a lot of similarities to Vanguard. If you've played Vanguard, a lot of things will make sense as far as just the natural flow of the game. There are some differences from what this post that I read on this Co-op post versus the original, versus how you play the actual physical trading card game. And I kind of wanted to just dive into a little bit of that here. And then some of the biggest ones that just popped up for me in this post, which I'm not going to overview everything. If you want the link to the post, I will post it for you guys if you want it. Some of the biggest things that he did, that Mr. Aiden Ryder here, hopefully Aiden guy or girl, you know what? Aiden. I'm just gonna if Aiden Ryder is watching this, Aiden. I'm just gonna say Aiden because I don't know if you're a boy or girl, and I don't want to offend in 2020. So here we go. The biggest thing will be triggers are on grade 3s now. So for those of you guys who don't know, Vanguard has a trigger system. It's basically kind of like this luck system where it can kind of determine the flow of battle, kind of just at a whim. So you basically, when you attack with your Vanguard, which is your leading unit, basically, you get these triggers, and you flip over the top card of your deck to see if you get a trigger. Triggers are normally outlined with a yellow border. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pop this up for you guys who've never seen Vanguard before. They're normally marked with a yellow border. With the yellow border, they have an icon in the top right hand corner letting you know what kind of trigger it is. There's a whole bunch of different triggers. There are triggers that let your units attack more than once. There are triggers that help you stay in the game longer. There are triggers that help you draw extra cards. There are even triggers to do more than one to deal more than one point of damage at a time. So there are triggers that do all these cool crazy effects, and now they're applying these trigger effects to grade 3s, which if you see a grade 3, like in the base game, which I should pop up a grade 3 right here, it'll probably be my favorite grade 3. It'll probably just be a blaster blade. Now that I think about it, because I play Royal Paladin in the physical game. Grade 3s normally don't have trigger markers on them, and they don't have shield value at all, so you can't guard with grade 3s. But from here, from the post that I read here, it shows me that it's saying that grade 3s will now have trigger values on them, and drive checks go back to the bottom of your deck, that's going to be really interesting instead of into your hand, because normally in the physical game, when you drive check cards, those cards go into your hand and not to the bottom of the deck. So that's going to be a huge difference going forward. And there was also some things here about you can't guard or intercept, rear guards needing to be hit before hitting the Vanguard now. So now I think it's more of like a war of attrition where you have to get rid of the rear guards to get to the Vanguard. From what it's saying, like I said, I haven't played the Japanese version of the game yet, or I don't think I'm going to play. I'm going to wait. And then he really just goes into, like, I keep saying he. I'm sorry, Aiden. If you're watching this, I don't want to offend you. I don't want to offend. I know Aiden is a name that can go both ways, right? That's like a gender neutral name. You know what, Aiden? I'm just gonna say Aiden. So Aiden said in the post that there's also things about PvP and stuff like that. And the reason why I really want to wait for the physical English release is because guess what? All those quality of life updates, so, things to make the game run smoother, things that, make it just more of a seamless experience, those things will pretty much be bundled in the game when it launches in spring. So the game came out December 5th of last year, so not even a month ago. So yes, the game will initially have bugs, hiccups, things of that nature. But the coolest thing about mobile games is they're constantly receiving updates. Especially for, long going games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, like a lot of gacha games and, card game based apps. They are always getting updated. So by the time we get to the English release of the game, it'll be nice because all those quality of life features will be pretty much bundled with the official English launch of the game. So that's probably one of my biggest reasons is quality of life. 2, translation. I have played a lot of games on co-op. I've played my fair share of co-op games on there, and I understand language barrier can always be a thing, especially if you were like me and you've played the physical TCG and you've played for a while, you probably could pick up and play the Japanese version and pretty much almost understand what's going on because you've played the game. But for those of you who are watching this and you've never played Vanguard before, I probably wouldn't recommend, not unless you speak Japanese or you can read Japanese fluently. So if you are that person, I might hit you up to like translate some stuff for me for some future stuff, for some future uploads. So let me know. Let me know. But that's basically everything that they're talking about here. But I think that's really the biggest thing too, is just translation. If you're new and you wanna, I would say maybe watch some of the videos that some of the other, like, I know there's other Vanguard YouTubers who have talked about Vanguard Zero and have done some gameplay on it for the Japanese version of the game. I would say go check those out. Just take a look at it, just to kind of get like, okay, this is kind of like the flow of things. And then when the English version comes out, then you might be a little bit more adept at playing, or it won't be as hard. But I feel like if you really just kind of want to keep it a really new and fresh experience, especially if you're going to be completely new to Vanguard, this is your first Vanguard experience, I would probably say just wait for the English version, because then you can read everything, you know, then things will make more sense. And then, and those are kind of like my biggest reasons. And 3 too is going to be the effects of the cards. Now this reason here is because I'm a longtime player, so I guess if you're a longtime player, you can tune into this if you want to or not, and if you're not a long-time player, then tune me out, I guess, for 2 seconds. But they're going to retool the effects of certain cards for this more simplified version of the game. So like Blaster Blade may still retire units. It may, maybe instead of it, like, I know in the reboot now, and I'm getting really technical, guys, about the mechanics in the game, so I'm sorry. So Blaster Blade, OG Blaster Blade used to be Counterblast 2 to retire a unit, and in the reboot he was Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1 to retire. So we don't even, maybe he'll just be a straight up Counterblast 1 to retire in the simplified version. We really don't know. I mean, yes, you could look at the Japanese version to get more information on that, but I guess just to keep it simple, I mean, I would rather wait for the full English release, just so, like, because, you know, things might get tweaked upon again, and that kind of falls back into the whole like quality of life updates and stuff like that. And that's pretty much it, guys. If this is going to be your first Vanguard experience, please leave that in the comment section below. If you've seen or heard of Vanguard, maybe on YouTube, because they have their own YouTube channel and they upload all their episodes for free on there, so maybe you've seen it there, or maybe you've seen it at a local card store, maybe you just seen it and you never wondered, or you just wondered about it. And maybe if you're just like, or maybe you're just genuinely interested, just like in this format, maybe you're just interested in Zero. Maybe maybe you play the physical game and maybe you want to play Zero, or, you know, vice versa. Maybe you want to see Zero looks really cool and now you want to play the physical version. Let me know in the comment section. I definitely want to hear how you guys think or where you guys stand on it. But spring 2020, we're looking at March, April as far as the release. So it's right around the corner. It's actually right around the corner, because we're already mid through January already as it is. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed these updates. Hopefully if something does break out about this game coming sooner, or whatever does come out, I will try to get that to you guys as soon as I possibly can. But until then, guys, hopefully I will catch you guys in the next Vanguard Zero video, and have a great rest of your day. Peace.